Before we get into the show, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. This podcast is presented by the Birdsall Law Firm, the official injury lawyers of Pro Pels Talk, located at 918 Poydras Street by the Superdome. Give them a call at 504-523-5413 if you or someone you know has been involved in an accident, and make sure we mention that we sent you. Jarrett and Lido in studio tonight. Before we get into it, I gotta do a couple things. One, happy birthday to your oldest daughter, Kennedy, turning 9. That's awesome.
Man, yeah.
That's time flies, huh?
I've been a dad for 9 years. That's wild.
Happy birthday.
Yeah.
Also shout out to Matt Habig. I messed up Lido on our last podcast. I totally fucked up the audio with Christian Clark from the Podbean. So I want to apologize to all of our listeners. I left a little tune up there. So my fault on that. But excited about tonight. So we got a lot to talk about. A lot of things happened this week, and we're not going to really dive into any of that stuff. What we are going to talk about, though, Jarrett, and I'll start with you, is me and Lido were talking. We feel like it's a prove-it season for Zion. Forget all the off-court bullshit and all the things that are going on right now. What can he do on the court, to start changing the narrative?
We saw a MVP caliber player at the beginning of last year. Let's say December. I think he was the best player in the NBA in December. He carried the Pelicans to, let's say, the number 2 spot, battling with now NBA Finals contender and almost potential champion in the Denver Nuggets. Like, they were right there.
Yeah.
Imagine, like, you got to think about it. In December, they were right there. Let's say the beginning of the year, they were right there with that team. And it got better. Well, the Denver Nuggets got better. The Pelicans just didn't. If Zion just comes and plays basketball the way he's been playing basketball, gets healthy and stays healthy, I think he can be, what we expected him to be. There won't be any letdowns. He'll be able to provide a spark that is needed. I think there was the article put out, this past week that said, it was enough. Zion off the court. Can we see Zion on the court? And I think that's big, man. We just want to see him. Man, congratulations on having a baby, bro.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. Congrats on Zion being a girl dad for sure.
I'm a father of 9 years. I've been a dad. That changed my trajectory, changed my mind, changed everything. Like, it slowed me down. So hopefully it kind of does the same for him. You know what I'm saying? I don't care, bro. I don't care how you got a kid. Bro, especially when kids involved. People on the internet, y'all are crazy. Talk about somebody when a kid is involved. They got people out there that don't have $200 million to take care of kids. That's beneath. Like, bro, I wish I had 200. I don't care how it happened. I can feasibly take care of a family. Yo, nothing else matters. Nothing else.
All right. Well said.
Said.
Very well said. I'm glad you said that, Jarrett. Lido, you texted me earlier today. We were just going back and forth on Zion Trey, and this text kind of stuck with me. You said, I fully believe Zion's got to have an incredible amount of damage on his mind. Elaborate a little bit on that.
Man, in the words of Five, let me say this. Congratulations, Zion. Like, you look extremely happy to me. He looks, like he's excited about his family, and that's dope. He looks like he's in great shape also. I think that cannot be stated enough. For all the things that you hear about, his size, man look like he ready to hoop. Like right now. I think that, the media bullshit that's happening right now, Zion is not a guy who he doesn't speak often, and he won't talk to the media about this for sure, which I'm glad he doesn't, because he doesn't owe us that. But I would say that with all of this happening, I'm like 100% certain that, like, he's looking around like, yo, when I get on the court, I'm gonna fuck somebody up. Like, I'm gonna make somebody feel my pain, you know what I'm saying? Feel what I'm going through. And then the other side of it too is, at the end of last season, he lost a significant amount of money that he wasn't able to, get because he wasn't healthy. And I think when you put all of those factors into play, you got a guy who's, along with having a kid, right? Like, you got a guy who's gonna come in determined, motivated. He got a lot of motivations. You know what I'm saying? You got a lot of people talking crazy about not only him, about his baby mama, about his kid, about how the kid was conceived, about how, you know what I'm saying, the money that he lost, is he worth the max contract? Is he gonna, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of questions about him that I know he's hearing, that I fully feel like he's gonna come in this season and he's gonna make everybody eat their words. Like, he gonna remind you. Like, you can say whatever you want, man. On this court, I'm a dog. Like, I am, like he said, I was the MVP of the month of December. I was a top 10 player for like them 28 games he played. He was a top 10 player in the NBA. And I saw that like I keep saying this, man. That Timberwolves game for me.
Hey, bro.
Jared, you were at the Phoenix game, right?
bro, I was at all of bump all that. That dude was
no, I mean you were in the seats for the Phoenix game, right?
Yeah. Up close, bro. Like the Timberwolves game is really the one that sticks out to me because it was like a back and forth game, and they needed Zion to make every play. And you remember NCAA football when they used to like you used to be like the Heisman person, and your heart started beating fast, and he started making all the plays, and the sticks start like that's what it looked like with Zion. Like he made every play that was needed. Like the team was kind of sputtering, they couldn't really get a good shot. Nah, I put the ball in Zion here. He get a rebound, he not passing nothing. I'm going down. I'm getting this. I'm like, yo, that dude. I don't care what it looks like, Lito.
But look, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, cool.
I was just gonna say the biggest. It's so crazy to me. Like the biggest play of the game was a steal. He played defense.
And he played, and it was it? Correct me if I'm wrong. Was it on Ant?
It might have been on.
It was on Ant.
I think he reaches around on an inbound on Ant, deflects it, and goes.
He left to me, and you was there, so you know what I'm talking about. Like he left the planet there for me. His ascension was crazy. I like you know how you know somebody good. Like I know you're good. I know you can hoop. You know what I'm saying? But it's like you see some shit that make you open your eye. Like oh shit, I might have underrated him, man. I don't know.
Yeah. Ross Thibodeau joined the show. Ross, virtual tonight. This is a total surprise. just jumping right in. What's going on, man?
Not much. Yeah. Sorry.
So we're talking about Zion. Basically, Jared and Lito talked about just on court, right? Just how dominant he is and how he can. Lito had texted me earlier today. Like he's got damage on his mind. Like I feel like that. Lito's talking about like how he can come out and change the narrative. What are your thoughts on that? And how can Zion, change things around? Regarding him,
just by playing. I mean, we've all seen what he can do on the court. The way he, can take over games at times. The offensive repertoire, and really just what he can do in terms of one-on-one matchups. He's shown now over. Granted, it's a small sample size, but he's shown that when he's in shape, he's unstoppable. I mean, unprecedented numbers. Unprecedented efficiency. So look, I mean, he was close to coming back and toward the play-in game there. I expect him to come. He's got a lot to prove this year. Let's call a spade. And I'm sure he's going to come into the year motivated, and he everything he wants to do is kind of under his control. So I'm optimistic. I really am. I think he really seems to. Has a lot to prove, and certainly, he really needs to bounce back for this team to be in any way successful.
Go ahead, Lito.
I just wanted to add a point to that, and I agree. I mean, you just like we all saying the same thing, but I think for me, there's a Marshawn Lynch meme I kept posting all last year when Zion was playing about just coming out and just hitting folks in the mouth, just hitting them, just repeatedly just beating them, right? Like. Forget the fouls. Forget if they call an offensive foul because you're not going to keep standing in the way of that. At some point, you're going to have to make a business decision. I want Zion to take everything personally. Everything. I want him to hear all the whispers. I want him to rest that on the shoulder as far as all the pressure, everything, not the pressure, but like whatever he feels slighted about. Because the other thing I was thinking about, Justin, is we talked about BI in FIBA, right? But I want to know if Zion got an invitation.
Do you think he did, Jared? We talked about it. Why wouldn't he? Right? Like why wouldn't?
Yeah, why wouldn't you give Zion? I mean, maybe health wise, but BI got one. I mean, he's not the cleanest build of health either. So, I mean, why wouldn't he get an invite? He should have.
Yeah,
he should have taken it because I mean, Coach K said like the best way to keep. I mean, so did this Stan Van Gundy. Like the best way to keep Zion in shape is to keep him playing basketball.
Right.
So
right. I wanted to make that point, Lito. You mentioned about like just what he looked like in the picture, right? I think the gender reveal had happened last weekend. I think it was on a Saturday. From what I know, I don't know if it's confirmed or not.
Yeah.
He looks really good. Like you can tell when Zion looks good. Like he looked really good in that photo. Now, obviously, it's different when you're on the basketball court, and I know he's got a lot of things to work on there. But Jared, I did not want to forget to mention this. We tweeted out a video today about EJ Liddell. And this wasn't on the show notes, but I think we have to talk about is that EJ looks really good now. We want to talk about progression coming back from an ACL tear. He popped it, last summer league. Looks like he's gonna be ready this year. What are your thoughts on just some of the videos you're seeing? And it looks like he's just always in the gym working.
The clip I was like, oh, that looks like he's actually doing basketball moves, but like basketball moves that can be implemented on the court, not like he's doing 2-ball dribbling and trying to speed dribble down, like are doing some spin move at the free throw line to shoot a fadeaway jump. Like, no, he's actually doing moves that can propel him in the season, that can get him playing time. Because if EJ Liddell can knock down a 3-point shot, EJ Liddell can screen and roll and be a Draymond Green-esque player. If he can do that and guard either 2, 3, 4 or 3, 4, and 5, if he can do those things, he's going to get on the court. And I think he's a very smart basketball player. So and the Pelicans need more smart basketball players. So hey, I think he'll fit it right in.
Do you think he could actually get minutes, Lito, on the big league team next year? I mean, it's a tough question, obviously.
No, it's not.
Oh, it's not.
No, he was gonna get minutes this year.
Really?
Like
you really think so?
Bro, listen, I'm gonna repeat every time we talk about EJ Liddell. I'm gonna say this. The one thing I know Willie Green is high on is defense.
Mm-hmm.
No disrespect. I saw him do things to Paulo in college. I ain't see nobody else do.
Why is it
you know what I'm saying? I just want you to know I wasn't shooting at you. I saw him do things. I saw him do things to Paulo. Like, Paulo was coming down, basically being Giannis in college, right? He was putting his elbow, his shoulder in folks' chest. They was getting out the way. Yo, EJ wasn't having that. He was like stripping him every time he come up. Like he was on Paulo's fade. He was basically making Paulo take contested fadeaways. And then on the other end, EJ was the best player on his team offensively and defensively. So he was responsible for a lot of that. So EJ was coming down and then he was attacking Paulo. I think EJ has an underrated. He's not necessarily a jump shooter, and he's not he's athletic as he would be from college to the NBA. So he's gonna have to figure that part of his game out. I haven't seen the footage, but like I'm really like, I truly believe he's gonna be a rotational player.
Because Jared and I see it all the time, and we've seen him at practice. I mean, you want to talk about, and we've heard it too. The guy just literally, he lives, like you hear about Herb, he literally lives in the gym. So I am interested. I'm glad. I want to see him. Yeah,
I mean, even from the clip, we saw like a ghost screen 2 or 3.
Yeah, so a rub and like. Yeah. But you talk about he works on that.
Yeah,
you've been talking about like, hey, he needs to add the 3-ball. He works on that every single day. And so I think it's just, I think it's huge. And it's going to be an interesting storyline heading into summer league because that guy needs to play.
It's different when dudes love hoop and when like you love basketball and you just play it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a difference.
Huge difference.
It's a difference in your development because like I'm looking at EJ Liddell. I'm just saying I ain't seen no footage y'all talking about, but I truly believe from the things I saw in him in college, like
Juvenile tweets him, doesn't see anything anymore.
Hey,
it's too big league.
Listen, EJ tweeted out that it's really hot down here. I said his best bet is probably stay in the gym, bro. It's gonna get even worse, bro.
Yeah, that's a good point. Let's get started. Let's go to our next topic. Lito and I did a show on this, but let's go with Ross and then Jared. Want to hear y'all's thoughts on this? But Ross, Brandon Ingram playing for Team USA. Rasha came out. There's some really good players here. Bobby Portis, Austin Reeves, Ants on there, Mikal Bridges, so on and so forth. What do you think of that? And also why is it good that why is it good for both Brandon and the Pelicans? Or did I just put words in your mouth?
No, you didn't. I mean, look, it's obviously good for him. Playing competitive basketball is always the most important thing, and it's always going to make you better playing against better players. I don't know. I'm a little torn with Brandon. I thought he played pretty well, obviously down the stretch. I think he knows how to play. So it's not one of these things where, go and get experience. Like he's played in big games. He's played, with and against good players. I hate to be this guy, but I don't know that I'm like that. It makes that big of a difference for me. Like, yeah, I'm happy that he's playing. For me, it's health. Like, I just need him healthy. I don't,
Does this show that at least he's healthy? He's feeling healthy. Going
Yeah,
to play
'cause he
for Team
wouldn't go-
USA. I think this is his
Yeah.
second time playing for Team USA. It looks like he
I
won.
think it's his first one.
Well, I think he
got
tried out.
invited.
like,
Yeah, I think he got
tried out a long
invited
time
to
ago.
whatever that was a while back. Yeah, I don't. It's good in the sense that he's healthy, and I guess people around basketball think he's good enough to go to stuff like that. But I don't really think it's going to make that big of a difference for what we see coming into next year.
Go ahead, Jared.
I think it's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
I want to see if he got that dog in him. I want to see, like, are you gonna go out there and be the best player on that team? Because there's a lot of guys that's like jockeying for status, right? If you're the best player on this team, you're going to get some Mikal Bridges. He had a really good late, end of the year last year.
Yep.
He's in Brooklyn,
Mhm.
higher market. Now it's on a world stage, right? Now you gotta going to get some guys in practice, in workouts every day. All right, can you be that guy? It's not against Jose, which is your partner or Najee. No. It's against those guys
Some dogs.
that want that position too. So, can you be the best player on that team? Can you? You told me you said in an interview last year that you was the best. You could be the best player in the world. Now we're trying to figure out if you're gonna be the best player on that USA team. That'll give me another step. That'll give me another notion that, hey, maybe you could be. Maybe you could be that. I'm just trying to know.
And he's not only. Go ahead.
I was going. Who you think the best player on the team is?
What team?
The FIBA team.
Man, I don't know. I want to see.
All right.
I want to see. Hey, Brandon. I'm putting
I
my
actually
money
think
on
it is. I actually think it's Brandon. I mean,
Yeah,
a lot of people would say Ant, but I think you told me, Lito, that Ant was on both ends, right? That's why.
Hey, listen.
That's your guy.
That's gonna be
Prove me wrong.
That's gonna be the matchup right there. Them two. I mean, Mikal too, but Mikal's like more like I can fit anywhere.
Anywhere.
Do you think Brandon's the number
Brunson,
one?
We got Brunson on that too.
Do you think he's the number one option on the team?
No, I think Ant is.
See.
Really?
I do.
Hey.
Go ahead. Why?
No.
I mean, I'm just,
I disagree with you actually, but go ahead.
I think that Ant is I mean,
choose your words.
I'm trying not to. Yeah,
Hey,
listen,
listen.
this ain't a.
This is gonna be really interesting to see because
I agree.
Ant gonna let you know that he feel like he the best player on the team. Is Brandon gonna do the exact same thing? Is Brandon gonna do impose his will? I'm not saying like verbally. Like, are you gonna impose your will? Like, nah, I'm that man. Jordan, and they talked about it in the Last Dance one, right? Larry and Magic wasn't trying to let Jordan be the
Right,
man. Like they had to prove it.
Stole that shit. Yeah.
Like, no, go take it. Pause.
I don't know, man. I feel like like I was telling Justin, I think Ant for me plays both sides of the floor, and and this is what I specifically said. The last time them two played each other, I feel like Ant got the better of the matchup. So I'm just going off the last visuals I got.
And you're a BI guy.
Oh, come on, man! I don't even know why we gotta.
People don't believe it, but you.
I don't even know how what have I ever said about BI that you wouldn't think about BI?
According to Twitter, you wanted to trade him and all this other shit, right?
You can go look up my tweet, search my name, search Trey Brandon Ingram, see what you come up with. If anybody finds that I ever said Trey Brandon Ingram, I ain't gonna give you no money. But you know what I'm saying? Like I don't know. We'll engage in the conversation.
Ross, so what are your thoughts on what Jarrett and Lito said? Because I actually I'm on their side. I disagree with what you're saying.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
No, it's a good point. I mean, I guess from looking at it, for me, that's more of a mentality perspective, I guess. I think it's an interesting point that they make, and yeah, I mean, I agree with that. To see how he stacks up, day in and day out. I mean, I think we've seen him be sort of the lead guy on the Pelicans for long stretches of times. I'm comfortable with him in that role. I mean, yeah, it's important. In my personal opinion, I think Jalen Brunson's the best player on the team too. Just as a sidebar.
You know what will be really interesting is will Brandon like take something from the international game, right? I think that'd be like huge.
He just said that, but I want you to go ahead.
Like, I just think because the international game is almost surpassing the NBA's game or becoming the NBA's game. I mean,
think it surpassed it.
Yeah,
I think it surpassed it.
Like the level of competitiveness, i.e. IQ as well. Like that, I think that's huge. playing on the international level. I think you learn how to play better basketball in that realm with other players. And what international teams have over like the USA, they've been playing for longer. They've been playing with each other for longer. They know each other's tendencies. They know exactly how they want to play. Oh my God, am I repeating myself? But man, I think that's huge.
I'm pretty sure they have Greece. Well, I'm not pretty sure. They have Greece on their qualification schedule, and I'm pretty sure Giannis is playing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so listen,
he's also going up against international teams with superstars as
Exactly.
well. So I do think that not only in practice you're going up against the best, you're going up against the best like during the games as well.
I just want to add on a Fav's point because I don't think people realize this as much. Like, like when it's all said and done, when LeBron hangs him up, like when Steph hangs him up, even right now, let's say right now, there's the best player in the NBA is not American.
Mm-mm.
And like the top 3 aren't American.
Yeah. So like,
let me ask you, who's your top 3?
Shit, man, I'm gonna tell you right now. If you're asking me, Jokic is the best player in the world at this.
I had like probably Jokic and Embiid. I love Luka. Luka up there as well.
Jokic and Embiid, Giannis,
all European.
I mean,
Afro-European.
Afro-European. Sorry,
but I mean, bro, like I think when you make the case like that,
hey,
the pureness of the game, like it's different over there.
I brought Kennedy to the Nuggets game. And I said then, I texted one of my partners, I said, that's the best basketball player I've ever seen. Like in person.
You're talking about
Joker.
Bro, I've never seen him play. I'm dying to see him play.
That's the best basketball I've ever seen, like in person. Like again, it's not saying I saw LeBron, but I saw LeBron late. I never saw him like in person, like that close. Like you see that dude play basketball, it's like it's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life.
I have actually this. I thought the same thing when I saw Luka. It's just Luka and Jokic does the same thing, but Jokic does it from a different point. They just control the game. I mean, they're in control at all time. They see everything, right? And they're generals, and they dictate where you were going, and they know where they're going to go, and you can't stop it.
Yeah,
it's just beautiful. But not Luka's part. I don't think Luka plays a beautiful brand of basketball. But Jokic just
I love the way he plays.
There's a beautifulness to Luka's game, but Luka gets off the rails a little bit. Joker's like mentality is like, I don't have to score right now. I can if I want to, but I want to do this. I want to cut you with 1,000 knives and then dissect you. And then when we get to the fourth quarter, like, oh, you're gonna stay at home and I get to go 1-on-1. Or if you're doubling, then I get to find some. Like this dude sees everything. It's 2-3 plays ahead. Nah, bro.
The difference is I don't know. I can't quite figure out how I beat Jokic. I don't know what to take away from him.
Oh,
well, there's nothing. He kills you 15 different ways. Go ahead.
You gotta play him 1-on-1.
But that's what we talk about this all the time. There's nobody in this world that can guard him.
No. He's gonna score.
Like it doesn't
matter. Like don't work. Like you just if he wants to score 1,000 times, just let him do it. If that's the case, he doesn't want to do that. That's not him innately.
So look, when I say that, and that's fair. When I say that, I mean like, all right, for instance, last time I saw Kawhi Leonard fully healthy, he sat on Luka's left hand and he took that step back away from him. Right? What you do to Jokic?
All right, Luka is a passer by proxy. Like he doesn't want to pass first. Luka wants to score on you and take your heart out. Like that's what he wants to do. Joker, he wants to pass first. And like it's a difference in like mentality.
Yeah.
So making Joker score almost like is better for you. It's almost like LeBron. That's how I compare it to. Because if you get LeBron doesn't want to be a scorer. He is a scorer, but he doesn't want to.
It's because they know they have the mentality. If I can get the others involved,
bro, yes,
we're going to win. If it's all about me, we're not going to win. It's very simple. That's just how basketball plays. And I think that Luka is sometimes he loses that, but also I feel like they haven't surrounded Luka with the right player.
I disagree. Jalen Brunson was right there.
Bro, they let him go. What do you want? Luka said they wanted him back. By the way, I want to mention this. I'm glad you brought up Jalen Brunson. What are your thoughts on Ross's comments? I don't think Jalen Brunson's the best. Are they going to award the flopping and the pull-throughs? And
Jalen Brunson good. Don't do that. Jalen Brunson good. Don't do
that.
We got to have a conversation.
Go watch what Jalen Brunson did in the playoffs.
I'm sorry. What you say, Ross?
I said, go watch what Jalen Brunson did in the playoffs.
To Donovan Mitchell.
When everyone in the whole world knew that he was the only player with a pulse on that team in the playoffs, and go watch what he did.
I can't believe you.
That's crazy.
Listen, bro. Like
I'm not like
Because I think that Knicks team stinks.
They terrible.
Trash.
They suck.
That dude right there is a basketball. Like he's gonna be. I don't want to put a ceiling on him, but he's gonna surpass some people, bro.
Dude, a bucket.
How old is he?
Like
Maybe 25, maybe. Him and Josh Hart, right?
Yeah,
Same
same.
age.
He came out late. Yeah, he came. I mean, he was a 3 or 4 year guy, but yeah,
Villanova.
Yeah, man, you get a Villanova.
Shout out, speaking of which, Caleb Daniels, shout out. He is a, gosh, Leo, you want to talk about a guy dominating since he was 6 years old at JCC? I mean, that dude, seeing him grow from, I know his dad, Roland Daniels, and then he had RJ, and RJ's his oldest, Marcel. They all went to St. Aug, and then Caleb was the best one. But that was so crazy, Lito, is that the discussion was when RJ and Marcel were in high school, late in high school, everyone knew that Caleb was going to be the best one. And Marcel and RJ can both ball.
It was clear.
And Caleb is,
and that's not.
And Caleb was too late. And that was, I saw a graph.
Shout out the graph.
You forget that Caleb Daniels started his collegiate career at Tulane, which he was averaging 18, 19 points a game, and then he just transferred over to Villanova. He gets to go to the Final Four.
Everybody's not offered to go to Villanova off a transfer.
Bro.
Like that's not common. That's not like you go play basketball at Villanova. You already knew how to play,
right? And
you're just going to learn a little bit more. I mean,
it sucks though. Like his senior year, they weren't that great because when you lose a legend like Jay Wright, and that's not. I mean, Shire did a nice job at Duke, but when you lose a legend like Jay Wright and you're at Villanova, you're probably going to.
But he still learned. He still learned from
Jay Wright a
little bit. So.
The Pelicans worked out Caleb Daniels and Latrell Jones. Is that correct?
Jones, yeah.
You said Latrell went to Shaw.
Yeah, he went to Shaw.
Okay. And then graduate from Nichols.
Shout out to Mr. Rowland. You couldn't have been in the JCC Uptown and not get any kind of coaching. Like it didn't matter what you was doing. If you was putting up shots, he was gonna critique what you was doing, and he was gonna fix whatever it is. Caleb got it. Mr. Rowland is LeVar Ball without all the antics. Yep. Like he straight up, like he go get you right. It was very easy to see very early on who Caleb was gonna become. He was playing with grown men at like 6. He was getting killed, and it didn't matter. It never affected his confidence. And like just to see him, like just I saw it in high school. Like I knew, like this is what he was gonna become. So man, shout out to him.
Awesome to see. Presented by Company Burger, located at 4600 Ferret Street. Let's get in the last part of our show here. Jared, we'll start with you. Derek Lively spotted this week at Dominican Pizza, of all places. What are your thoughts on Dominican Pizza, by the way?
Never been.
It's not good.
All right, cool.
That's all.
What?
I see like a Napoli pizza somewhere.
No, we do not.
Okay, cool. I just want to make sure you stick this.
Wait.
What's wrong with Ross?
Are y'all serious? That is, and like shot like.
Wait.
It's good pizza. It's in my opinion the most overrated.
Whoa.
Wait.
Dominica?
Man, this dude's out.
First Jalen Brunson, that is.
Oh,
what you on? Like, wait. Hold on. When you say trash, like
I didn't say trash. All right, I said overrated.
Can we run a tape back?
Did I say trash?
Ross, did he say trash?
Did I say trash?
I think he said trash.
I think you said trash.
It was kind of
that might have been overrated.
That's aggressive.
I think it's overrated.
Aggressive.
Is it overrated?
Hey, bro, I don't know. I'm gonna go check it out.
It ain't.
All right.
You think it's overrated?
Yes. There's not, man.
Hey, man, can we?
Z's is actually pretty good.
Can we talk about Derek?
Sorry.
I'm sorry. I'm about to be irate.
Yeah, we need the season to start. All right, Derek Lively. Jared, before we got on the show,
we need to do a pizza tour.
I'm down with pizza. I'm down with pizza.
I'm sorry.
All right. I love this show. Derek Lively. Jared, before we came on the show, and I'm gonna let you get your. Before we came on the show, though, I literally said he reminds me literally of Jackson Hayes. 4.2 point. He's got 4.6 blocks per 40 minutes. He doesn't really have an outside game. He's a great PNR threat, great lob threat. Can finish around the rim. Now, does he fit this team right at 14? What do you like about him? What do you not like about him?
Hey, let me ask you a question and answer of that question. If Jackson Hayes was a better screener,
sure.
If Jackson Hayes like sat on the screen and was and he knew what the next plays were outside of that, what would you have paid him already?
Yeah.
All right then. So like that's why he makes the most sense. An athletic, 7 foot big that can run in the end, can block shots, can screen, doesn't need
He's
the
a
ball.
rim protector. He's a legit rim protector.
Yeah, so that's the ideal person to be behind Zion. And you've had him for 4 years. You just couldn't develop him in a way.
Yep.
So are you gonna just try to do that again? Maybe. I don't know if it's, I guess the Pelicans are just doing their due diligence. I would probably want to shoot her. But if that's the case, like, I don't see why this is like a bad thing. Like, no, that dude should be getting worked out because you know what it looks like or what it can be. It's just the guy that you had, it just didn't pan out for it.
See, I'm more of along the lines of like, I need a guy if we're gonna draft Lido. If we're gonna draft, I need him a day one impact guy. And I don't. And there's no disrespect.
No,
Derek's 19 years old, 20 years old.
Yeah.
Dyson's also 19 years old. I don't know if you knew that.
I didn't. Thank you for
20 now. Do you think that?
spin.
Do you think that it makes sense to draft a?
All right, so let me say this.
Like, how do you see him fit? I guess.
All right, hold on. Let me say this first. What you want as far as a day one impact guy, you're not gonna get like. And
I can find a shooter though that can day one impact.
But if you do get it, it's not good. That means somebody is not playing. He's hurt. He's playing rotational minutes that he shouldn't be getting right now.
No, I disagree with that. If I get a shooter, Lido, we were what 27th in the league, 3-point shooting.
I'm just saying if the same reason Dyson Daniels had to play, if your rookie has to get big minutes very early on in the season, that sounds like to me somebody's hurt. He's taking somebody's minutes, or somebody's not playing as well as they should be playing. So I don't necessarily want hella minutes, hella impact from my rookie. I'm gonna say this about Derek Lively, like that. I was not interested in him until I saw him make 23s in a row. That intrigued me. Like that got my interest because I mean,
what are you referring to? I don't
That was
know.
a pre-draft workout that he hit.
he had 23s in a row from the corner.
Yep.
Was he a shooter at Duke?
Nah,
Nah, never got a chance to show it. Like I was telling before this pod started, I think it's possible he could be one of those guys who Cal does at Kentucky. Oh my God, I don't know. I'm not even saying that. Like Cal does at Kentucky.
I know you was going.
You know what I'm saying?
Where was he going?
I wasn't going to I'm not meaning it like that though. Nah, I'm not saying that. I'm not going on record with that. Well, like Cal does the guys at Kentucky, puts them in a role and he makes them play their role, right? Yeah. I think it's possible he could be that. Let me say this though. Shout out to NBA draftrim.com. I'm gonna tell you Lively's player comps.
Okay.
Because this is what I saw from him at Duke in college. Willie Cauley-Stein, Tyson Chandler. This is what they said. Tyson Chandler with range. You ready for this last one?
Tyson Chandler with range.
With range. Yeah, I mean, that's solid.
Crazy. Okay.
I mean, that's how I sound like a hell of a basketball player. This is the last one. He's built like Jackson Hayes, but has much better instincts and basketball IQ.
Yeah, all right. I didn't say it on the pod, but before the pod, did I not say that? But I really did that. Again, Jackson's defense, like, dude didn't play basketball, until like 6 years ago. Like,
and I still think Jackson could be a good player. This is not a knock on Jackson.
I think he can.
I really think so.
He is one day.
I think
it's not his fault though.
We talked about Chris Paul and Jackson Hayes in a pick and roll. He would make him.
Jackson would be a Hall of Famer.
Ross, thoughts on Derek Lively?
That's crazy. At least be
hold on. You just went on. You just went on air and said that Jackson Hayes is
if he had Chris Paul for his career,
for all of our Twitter followers, they're gonna just cut that.
Talk about Chris Paul. Chris Paul got a lot of folks paid.
I'm saying
Bismack Biyombo.
I'm saying, dog.
Top of the list.
He had Biz averaging.
He was elite. Like he was elite.
So you telling me Jackson Hayes wouldn't
be a Hall of Famer? Would
be the NBA All Star at some point playing with Chris Paul? I'm saying if he had Chris Paul for his career,
yeah.
You don't think?
Yeah,
bro.
Yeah. Hey, bro.
Tyson Chandler, come on, man.
Tyson Chandler was he an All Star? Tyson Chandler was never an All Star under Chris Paul.
And
you literally just
that was in a time where the centers were playing back to the basket. Now
Jamal McGlory was an All Star though.
Jamal Big Cat McGlory.
Hey man, listen. At least I know Jackson would get like $100 million.
He would.
Chris Paul was his point guard.
Oh, There's no doubt.
All
about
right,
that.
as long
There's
as
no doubt about that.
Hey,
now,
I'll
Hall of
take that.
Famer and All Star. That's a little
Listen.
crazy.
Hey, if he had
I'll
10
take
years
that.
of Chris Paul,
I take that over any All-Star game. If I'm Jackson, I think, well, I don't care about none of that. I want the bread. The
Yeah,
bread.
for sure. Ross, go ahead after all of that. We need you in studio, man.
I'm appalled by Tyson Chandler with range. Like that to me, it's just like that's comical for a dude that made whatever 1 3-pointer last year and shot like 60% from the line or whatever he did. I agree with 5. He's a guy that you should work out because in theory, that type of player should make sense with this roster. But this isn't an academic exercise. We need a player that can actually come in and has a verifiable skill set that can help the team day one. And if he can't, then we shouldn't draft him or we should trade the pick. But I still see a little too much project in him offensively for me to want him. I do. I mean, look, the dude didn't do a whole lot, in his 1 year of college. Workout videos mean like next to nothing for me for most of those guys. I've seen Mitchell Robinson workout videos that would make you think that dude is Kevin Durant, and then he shows back up every year with the same crap game that he had the year before. I think a lot of those dudes can shoot, in an open gym, and then you get into the game and it doesn't really translate. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think, he's deserving of a workout. I don't want us to draft that type of player.
So my thesis is 1 through 10, they play immediately. 11 through 20, like I can develop because you got to think like Trey was 17.
Trade, yeah. Well, wasn't
trade.
Trey technically 13?
Yeah,
right?
whatever.
I
Okay,
hate
all
that.
right. He's in middle of the range,
draft,
right?
Yeah.
He had time in Birmingham because he still had to develop, right? There was still some time of development. I'd put like that's a good person to look at that time because you should be wanting to develop him. Now you draft the guy at 8. He needs to be ready like immediately. And I'm against this, Ross. Nah, some workout videos tell me a lot. When I see a guy doing a spin move at the free throw line, shooting a jumper that I know you're not gonna do, yeah, man.
Fade away,
Yeah, man.
The patented spin.
Yeah.
I agree with 5. I think I see a lot of guys make jumpers in open gyms. I don't see them make 20 in a row though. Like that.
But Tyson Chandler with range is what I'm going off of.
That's NBADraftRoom.com. That wasn't me. I'm just saying. I think. So you telling me, bro? I see players all the time. I've never seen Jackson Hayes make 23s in a row.
He shoots the corner threes though all the time.
Does he make them?
I don't know. I mean, you only see him shooting. Really.
Hey, listen. Like, think about a guy like Tyson Chandler, bro. Like, all right, he was in Chicago at first, didn't work out. They sent him to NOLA, and he got. I say NOLA. I didn't even mean this. New Orleans. And he gets up with a guy with Chris Paul, and it becomes magical. Like sometimes change the scenery works, development works at a different place. Maybe you need something different. I'm still a believer in Jackson Hayes. It may not be in New Orleans, but bro, I think drafting a guy like Derek Lively, it makes sense in theory.
Get your big man a guard.
Let me ask you all this. I'll start with Lito. Because someone asked me this today. Like, what are we doing with Jonas Valanciunas? Like, do you think he stays or do you think we're still trading him? Do you think we're still like
me personally? I mean, I would like for them to retain him, but I don't see why they would retain him, and I don't know why he would want to come back. Just based on like,
well, he came out and said he'd like to be back.
I know,
but he knows changes have to happen.
Hey man, listen, I think the most important move of the offseason was made, bringing in James.
You think that's the most important?
Oh man, bro.
Let's like you weren't.
No, I was.
You weren't on the Borrego show. Go ahead.
Dog. You watch. Go watch Charlotte.
Because some people don't like him.
Okay, that's on them. To raise Charlotte's win shares, I would say 10 games each year, and you still get fired. It's not on you, bro. I think it's not on like come on now. It ain't just talent. You had LaMelo in and out. You had guys moving weight in Charlotte. You had all kind of things happening in Charlotte. You didn't know who was gonna play, and you still was able to win, albeit Eastern Conference. Nah, that dude can coach. Like, I think the game, it was like, I think it was Devontae's first game back in Charlotte, and he was trying to have a good, and he had a terrible game. I think James outcoached Willie that game. Like, I saw it. Like the plays that he was drawing up, maybe it didn't go like the basket didn't happen, or they didn't make the shot.
Good looks.
The looks that they were getting, the plays that were running, and then the repetitiveness of it. Like, if they found something that works, they went right back to it.
You're talking about an identity.
Oh, hey, you know,
having an identity on offense. And that's, once again, you finally get an offensive guy, offensive-minded coach, also a former head coach, to add to Willie Green's staff, Lito.
Listen, check this out. Check this out. If I gotta look at Charlotte as the barometer of what a good coach is, yo, like, you fail. And I understand people want to give Borrego's credit to. I'm not even gonna open that can of worms. But I'm gonna say this. Only Charlotte fire a guy who got them the rookie of the year, got them most improved. You saw my man who was drinking lean readily improve until he crashed out. And then they fired him to hire the guy that they fired before him. So I don't think I learned a lot from the Charlotte experience. I think I'm with Five. That was a very important hire. You have to have Willie's more defensive-minded guy. You got to have an offensive mind on the side of him that's not named Casey Hill. I'm sorry. You got to do it.
Well, while we're talking about Borrego, one of the bigger takeaways for me, outside of just what I like about what they do offensively, is looking at, we just talked about Liddell, and I see a lot of similarities between EJ Liddell and PJ Washington. And I thought the way that they used him, obviously not last year, but I mean, as he was, after he was drafted and he kind of played right away. And then I think he probably had maybe 2 or 3 years with Borrego and continued to get better and better and better. And for me, there's a lot of similarities in their games.
Nah, man. You know what? We didn't have this kind of show. I don't know if you guys did it, but man, Casey Hill being gone is like a godsend.
Whoa. We don't know if he's gone.
Man, well,
I'm serious. There's nothing been that's like he's
confirmed.
Even Christian couldn't confirm it. He said conflicting reports, right, Lito?
I mean, how many spots can you have?
Right.
You can't just add a coordinator and what was it like? All right, well, he's not in that position anymore. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
Currently, he's not in the offensive coordinator position anymore. At least we know that.
That's fair.
And that is huge.
Yep.
So you think that's the biggest offseason?
What, man? How many times have we talked about this? Like, not knowing what the team is going to do night in, night out, or how they're going to play. They changed their identity or the way they play every game. I'd be confused too. If I was a player, I'd be confused too.
And I asked it, Lito said the same thing. Let me ask you a second. I already know your answer. But does having a starting lineup and players in and out affect that?
What?
Having an identity and running the same stuff?
No.
Okay.
No, I disagree.
I wouldn't. I'm agreeing with you. But there are some people that will say that.
Hey, listen. No, coaches have an identity. That's how they become coaches. That's how they find something that works and they want to run that. Now, they have variations of what they want to run, but they have a system of, okay, this is what we want to do. Now, depending on the players that they have on the court, there may be a little alteration to that. But no, not the Pelicans. No, they play a different way every game. So we don't know what we're going to see. We don't know who they're going to be. Well, it's not their fault. I don't blame them. I don't blame them for not being Wendy's. I don't blame them for not being consistent enough, because the people that are telling them to be in a certain position, they're not directing them in the right way. It's terrible. Well, now it's not. Thank God for James.
I'm also going to say I'm not a big fan of Wendy's either. I'm just
I'm just saying. I'm not saying you go out. All I'm saying is you go to Wendy's and it's going to be this. Like, you know that no matter if you're in Louisiana, no matter if you're in Chicago, no matter if you're in Florida, it's going to be the exact same thing or very close.
That's fair.
That's what I'm saying.
Wendy's is the most consistent burger out there as far as fast food. What are we doing?
Yeah.
Over McDonald's?
Boy.
What?
Boy.
McDonald's don't even exist outside of their fries.
Ross, get your man.
Am I just
You
out?
crazy.
Am I just missing tonight? I don't. Y'all,
Ross,
Ross is
you're on
muted.
mute.
we need we need a Justin's bad food take segment. That's what we need.
That's
Ross.
fine. We can.
Ross,
Ross is still
muted.
muted,
You
bro.
muted.
You're still muted. This is podcast 200. You're still muted.
Hey,
this is
listen.
incredible.
What?
You're still muted.
This is the problem in
Y'all can't
society.
hear me?
White people have to start policing white people. This is the issue. This is the issue. We can't do it for you. You got to police
I
yourself.
cannot believe this. I cannot believe this.
No,
I can't
That'd be the
believe
funniest thing you've ever said on the show. I think we got a clip of, he just left. Ross just said, "Fuck this, I'm out of here." Before we get into bad tweets, let's hear from our sponsors from the Birdsall Law Firm, the official injury lawyers of Propel Stock. This podcast is presented by the Birdsall Law Firm, the official injury lawyers of Propels Talk. Birdsall Law Firm is a family practice that has been a staple in the greater New Orleans area since 1963. Specializing in automobile accidents and slip and falls for the past 60 years, you can trust the Birdsall Law Firm to handle your claim professionally while treating you like family in the process. The Birdsall Law Firm is located at 918 Poydras Street near the Superdome. Give them a call today at 504-523-5413 or message them on Instagram if you or someone you know has been involved in an accident. Be sure to mention Boot Crew Media sent you to get your free consultation today. Once again, you can reach them at 504-523-5413. Birdsall Law for the official injury lawyers of Propels Talk. Let's get to our last segment, mean tweets. What we got from this week. From Lee Bicazoo. Honestly, Pelicans Twitter would be 100% better, 100 times better if Propel Talk Boot Crew spelled it wrong. Schmidt and his, we're not going to say that word, buddies and Chaz disappear from this app. There's a lot of logical fans here, but the people with the worst opinions got the loudest mouth. Thoughts?
Man. Hey, bro. That's
Ross, we're going mean tweets here. You missed this one.
Hey, yo.
Ross came back in a good time. We'll read it again. Honestly, Pelicans Twitter would be 100 times better if Propel Talk Boot Crew Schmidt and his buddies.
Again, bro. Listen, bro. I don't know these people. They have avatars of people that aren't them. I don't know who I don't know who you are. I can't tell you nothing. Like, you mad about an opinion, like
a basketball opinion.
And I'm pretty sure I'll be honest.
I don't even know what he was wrong. What was he? I know it was about.
I don't even care. I'm pretty sure he doesn't know half the stuff I know about basketball. I don't care. Whatever, bro.
He took it out of context. Chaz said that Brandon Ingram can't shoot, and Chaz was talking about Brandon Ingram can't shoot threes or doesn't shoot a lot.
It don't matter, bro.
It was taken out of context. But we do need a shout out. Lala, can you please pull up the best tweet of the week that we've seen? This is my favorite.
Hey,
Juvenile,
the great,
Juvie the great. Somebody give this guy the Pulitzer. Lito the God.
Hey, man.
Lito, that's that.
Hey, bro. Hey, that's better than a Pulitzer. Like at this point, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just
are you gonna frame that?
I'm gonna have to.
I told you, you gotta frame.
You gotta put that in the office.
We'll put that in the crib.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna have to.
Can we talk about what you got going on, or is that still?
I mean, he posted it, so
gotta kind of figure that out.
Yeah, write an article on Juvie.
I gotta write an article on Juvie, man.
What is your favorite song on 400 Degrees?
Chris Connor is calling me as we speak.
He knows the show's going on.
Hey,
he's live on.
Hey, Chris,
Propels
I'm
Talk.
live on Propels Talk, man. How you doing?
You got to put it up to the mic. What's it? You a speaker?
Hey, Chris, can you hear me?
He butt dialed you.
Yeah.
Oh, you think,
crazy.
dude? He butt dials me all the time.
That's crazy.
Oh wow,
he does all the time. But go ahead. Sorry, Lito.
So man, listen, Julie was looking for a journalist in DC over the weekend, and I replied to it with a story I had written in 2021 that I had tagged them in like multiple times, honestly. And I think, you know what, the lesson here is persistence. And Chris said, my bad. So the lesson here is persistence, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you know you got something good, if you good at something, like, just because you don't get the results you were looking for the first time, like, just keep at it. And I guess nobody has your vision but you, so nobody like is seeing what you're seeing. But anyways, man, Juvie asked me to write about the 25th anniversary of the album. The concert is in DC on 6/14. So we gonna see how that go. So
What's your favorite song from that album?
Justin, Jesus Christ.
It's a great album.
My favorite song from that album
Sock Hop album.
is Ghetto Children. Ghetto Children. Yes. That's my favorite song from that album.
More than back that ass up because you told me.
I don't like Back That Ass. I mean, I like it for what it
That's a lie.
does.
That's a lie.
Like it for what it does, but you know what I'm saying? Like I just wasn't riding around. Okay, you know why? I'm not a mainstream music guy.
Yeah.
I'm an underground, you know what I'm saying? So like if something is a radio single, it's not for me. Other than because Han was different.
Yeah, how was different?
Han was different.
No Jay-Z verse though.
No, Jay-Z had the worst verse. Yo,
Yeah.
don't get me started.
Hope we can find it in the article there. Ross, I want to hear your thoughts on this because you haven't said a word. You just came back and this was on your screen. You appreciate the last.
Can you pull it back up? Yeah. It said butt fuck buddies.
Well, that's the reason why we blurped it out. But then
he said
that's wild, bro.
We'll do it live.
We'll do it live.
That's wild.
Yeah.
No, man, I love this kind of stuff. This is like my favorite segment, man. These people that get worked up like this. He said the whole app would be better without y'all fools.
You're part of that. Shit, you're not even on it.
That's cool. See, I didn't get listed by name, so that's why I guess I'm one of the buddies.
I got listed. Chaz got listed
buddies.
too.
It's okay, man.
Good for him, man. He got that off his chest. Obviously, hope that made him feel better.
Or off another part of his anatomy. Like, bro, like, come on now, dog. Like, what you doing? That's the energy you want to give off. That's the energy you gotta give off. Like, oh
Justin,
man, these dudes.
Justin, after your restaurant takes today, you need to be included on that. Bro.
Oh,
he ain't wrong, Justin. He not wrong.
I've had a bad day. I mean, listen, man, I have it every day. I was just very. I really think it's overrated. I think it's the most over, and that's not a knock. I don't want to knock a restaurant because, like, me and my wife have been there a bunch of times. Like, I'm not like I like it.
What's your favorite pizza spot?
My favorite pizza spot. You ever had Mid City Pizza?
That's overrated.
See, it's not. That's bullshit. Because Dominica, they give you the small slices, which I can't get with. At Mid City, I know that
it's a style of pizza. Like, what?
It stinks. That's what. Listen, I don't like
this brick oven spot on magazine.
Solid.
Yeah,
solid.
Look at me.
Have you tried Z's yet?
I've tried these. It's cool.
I'm bringing people together like butt cheeks. See,
solid,
just like your boy.
Wait, hold on. I gotta take that's about to make Justin mad. I gotta take this about to make Justin mad, Ross. Costco better than Mid City.
Hey yo. Costco got some fire pizza, dog.
This is ridiculous. And then Ross does that shit. Like, that's crazy.
Hey, bro. Listen, I have a question though. Before we log off, you talking about what Brandon taking up the reins as a leader on FIBA team, right?
Yeah.
Is Brandon the leader on the Pelicans?
No. And that's not a knock on him.
No, okay. I'm just asking. I'm saying if Brandon and Zion is on the court,
okay,
I'm just asking.
Can I ask you a question?
Can I ask you a question?
Definitely. Give me the definition of a leader. What is your definition of a leader of a?
Well, like what Five said. When he described what Brandon, should do if he's coming into that situation, and there are other guys who may be the alpha, do you go in there and you assert you said dominance, right? Like, do you assert your dominance on the team and let them know this is my shit, this is me, this is me. Y'all follow. Y'all follow as I go. Y'all follow my lead.
I'm more of and you got to prove it. Like, you got to prove it on the court, but also I need both. You need to be vocal in order to be a leader. And that, once again, Brandon's a quiet guy, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think you have to be vocal as well in order to be a leader.
So is Zion more of a leader than Brandon?
No, Zion's not vocal at all. You think Zion's vocal?
No, I'm just asking.
I think more of CJ and Larry. Like, I would even. It's crazy I'm saying this, but I think Jose's a leader. I think Jose's very vocal and open.
What are your leadership qualities? Like, give me a leadership quality. It's not like, because you don't have to be the best player to be a leader. Like, so what are your leadership qualities?
I think holding people accountable is number one.
Toughness is probably one.
Yeah, toughness. And like I just said, Jose's there.
There are other things outside of just being like, hey, I'm the best basketball player here. Well, like,
right.
Brandon might very well be the best basketball player on this team. But if you think he's going to walk in there and be the leader, oh, come on, man. We've seen too much of Brandon. I like him. I think he's a hell of a player. If you think he's going to walk into that room with those dudes and be the leader on that team, then God, we've been wasting our time. What y'all been watching?
I think that there's like a systemic problem with the Pelicans. There's not enough like vocal people. And again, I'm not saying like you got to
go
be
through the list, man. Dyson's a mute.
No. I'm talking about like from your head coach to your best players. Like
talk about organizational wise.
I mean, I would say Griff is pretty communicative, right? Like very like.
Well, Griff's a leader. I think
That's what I'm saying. Like, but I'm talking about like from the dudes that make decisions on the basketball court. That's the problem. Like it's too many, like not enough holding people accountable like out loud. That's an issue. It's the backdoor comment. Like, no, up all the meetings. Like handle it right there. Handle it on the court. And I don't know, maybe that's just my style of leadership, right?
That's all I know.
I vividly remember, that's all I know too. I vividly remember texting you something, Jared. It was at the maybe last 2 games of the year. I texted you a Mike Malone clip. And Denver already got the number 1 seed. They were they were the best team in the league, whatever. And Mike Malone went in press conference and called them out and said, listen, we're gonna play like this, we're gonna get our ass kicked in the first round. And I talking about publicly letting to the media after a post-game press conference, holding people accountable. And I completely agree. Like it's a problem from top down.
Yeah.
Now that's something that Willie has to learn.
Yeah, no. I'm not saying like, all right, this can't be fixed, but I'm saying like the choir boys got to go. Like the quietness has to go.
Yeah.
Let's like females say, love out loud. Like no. Let's do this out loud. Let's make it Facebook official. Let's do this out loud. That way everybody knows we're on the same effing page.
Well, that's why the whole like Zion thing's interesting, right? This is kind of like the first time like Zion has been without, I know it's off court stuff, but I feel like I feel like Zion could take this and just channel it and be like, this is my motivation going forward. I am strictly focused on basketball, starting a new family, things like that.
I mean,
can he do that?
I don't think he needs that for that, or he shouldn't need that for that. But I mean, that's what helps him get there. The thing with me with Brandon is confusing. Is that like Brandon literally punched a guy in the face on the court? Like I saw Brandon play high school basketball. Like he was talking crazy. I know he has it. He has it. Now, why he doesn't do it anymore, I don't know.
Well, you see in select spots, right? You saw it with, I think, Chris Paul in game 5, was it?
Yes.
Game 4, whatever it was, like meet me in the back, whatever.
I fully believe he has it. I know he got it in him.
For a fact.
Yeah. We want that. We want to see that.
But I want that 82 games, not
but I want that I want to see that consistently.
Yes.
Let's see what FIBA does. Listen.
A leader is able to get that out of others, not out of themselves. That's what we're. I don't know if like the conversation has shifted, but Brandon might be able to do that for himself. Same thing with Zion. Zion might come in this year as a ball of fire. That's awesome. That don't make you a leader. That's not a leader. It can do things for others that others cannot do for themselves. And I don't think those guys have that personality. It's not their fault.
Does anyone on this team have that personality, Ross? Does anybody on this team have it? It's
nah, I'm not sure.
Once you start thinking about it, no.
Yeah, I'm not.
You don't
I
think
don't
CJ?
Jose? I think Jose.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
maybe Jose, maybe. But to be an NBA big, like I'm the guy. You just have to have a certain level of basketball clout that Jose doesn't have.
Yeah.
And so, is he a leader in some regards? Absolutely. But like, it's got to be a guy that you can follow. And I'm just not sure that that's their personality. It doesn't mean that they're not great players. Doesn't mean they're not going to be Hall of Famers. Doesn't mean any of that stuff. But in terms of being the guy that everyone is going to follow, I've yet to see that. Maybe something changes. But
I mean, I agree with you, Ross. To that point is like, but ain't that on the coach though? Like, isn't that on the coach to pull the necessary
to hit the right button?
Yeah, like to pull that out of you, like to get you to do something that you cannot do by yourself. I think
it's more of Jared. Like, I think if the players aren't going to be the leader, then the coach has to be the leader. If that,
I think there's a tie in that, right? I think the coach and the player have to have some sort of symbolism within each other to this is what we're doing,
right?
And we're both on the same page, so. Y'all got to hold yourselves accountable, but also I have to hold you accountable.
We talk good teams, the leaders, the head coach, great teams, the players, the leaders. That's how it's always, in my opinion, that's I've seen the most success.
I just want to add on to a statement you made. You said Mike Malone called out the best players on the team and said we're losing the first round. Do you believe that Willie could do that on his team and guys not take it personally?
I wish he'd do it more. I wish he'd do it more.
Do you think they would not take it personally if he did it?
Let me ask you this. Or I'll answer that because I think the way Stan Van Gundy did it was the wrong way, but it was like the message I understood. Like when you call a bunch of professionals high schoolers, like they're not going to take that the right way. It was after the Knicks game. I'll never forget. He called them a bunch of high schoolers and they weren't listening to the huddle. Like I think that was the wrong way. I think the guys
in a dumb way. They were playing like high schoolers.
But I get it. But you can't say that. Like that's just going to like literally take your players. Like, well, fuck this guy. Like you just like literally disrespecting me. Like there are ways to call it a team like Mike Malone.
Get your ass beat by Reggie Bullock at the buzzer instead of listening to the truth.
But that goes back to Jarrett's point is that players, nobody, when it was Lonzo Ball, like the only leader was really JJ Redick, right? And I think JJ was like, it was a weird year as a pandemic. And also like, if JJ calls you out, like, would you respond? Would you? Like, yeah. It's like JJ.
I mean, I think you got to respect JJ's status.
Like now, if Drew would be like, yo, what the fuck, man? Like, was Drew on
Yeah,
Drew was on that team. But Drew, once again, was a quiet guy. Just like how Anthony Davis, quiet guy. Now, when Boogie was here, Boogie was the type of guy like, hey, we're not going to fucking play like this. Like, that's why I always loved DeMarcus Cousins. Shit, we should take a look at him again.
Puerto Rico putting up numbers.
Man, I think that's the issue is like it's too much quietness. Like good teams allow good teams, you hear them on the defensive end. Good teams, you hear them on the offensive end.
I'm going to cut you off.
Yeah.
You sat on the floor. You sat on the floor. Ross sat on the floor. I sat on the floor. When I'm on the floor, I hear one person talk. And it's Jonas Valanciunas.
JV calling out everything.
And I mean, I'm going to talk like screaming. You got 18,000 people. You got music. You got 15,000 things going on. JV, I can clearly hear down, switch. Like he's the guy that always is talking.
Do they listen when you call it?
No, that's a top for another discussion. But it's interesting.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, comment, subscribe. Love to hear y'all's thoughts on. Wow, we talked a lot about that was interesting. I still think Dominican is overrated, but we'll get out of here. Like, comment, subscribe. Love to hear your thoughts on Dominican Pizza. We'll talk to y'all later.